This is not a vacation. This is a rematch. A few weeks ago, a work trip completely destroyed my routines and everything I was building up for my 6 months challenge. I came back feeling defeated, like I failed at the very beginning, but this time I won. This week I'm flying to Iceland, and this trip is going to be the opportunity for myself to see how I overcame the challenge, because we don't give up after the first, the third, the 10th failure. This trip will be my chance to see how I learn my lessons. And before the chaos of the travel and everything begins, I want to share 5 specific rules that I created for myself after everything I went through last time, to make sure that this time my goals will actually survive this journey. So this is my travel redemption plan. What exactly is my travel redemption plan? And yes, it sounds a bit dramatic, but we like to be a bit dramatic here. But I promise you, it's not some crazy complicated thing. In fact, what I've learned that if I want a rule that works in my life, it has to be extremely simple. It has to be simple enough to be remembered in a stressful moment. It needs to be broad enough to be applied in as many aspects of my life as possible. So not just for trips actually. And most importantly, it has to be high impact. So if I apply a rule to my life, it has to be impactful. It has to actually change something. I'm not a big fan of rules. I tend to break them all. So the few I pick for myself need to be simple, broad, and impactful. And this is exactly what my 5-step plan is. It's a set of 5 simple but high impactful rules that I've designed for myself. I designed as a direct counter-attack to the specific things that made my last trip fail. The social pressure, the bad on-the-spot decision, and the burnout of trying to do it all at once. And do not miss out the last one, that in my opinion is the most underrated one. Okay, let's get into the first rule of the plan. To explain this one, I have to be really honest about why my last trip failed. It wasn't because I was lazy, it wasn't because I had no time. It basically failed because I was not able to say no. I was with coworkers, and every time I tried to take an hour for my own goals or a moment for them, I felt this intense guilt about isolating myself. I was worried about not being a team player, about them judging me. I ended up leaving out all my plans just to try and satisfy them, just to try and meet their expectations. Who knows if they are really their expectations? And I knew that going to Iceland would affect my goals a lot. And this time it would have been with my husband and friends, which means that the pressure to do everything together and the pressure of me staying alone during vacation time is 10 times higher than my co-workers. So to prevent the same disaster from happening and to feel a lot of guilt and exhaustion, I created what I call a social contract with them. So I did not have just a random chat, but I had a proactive strategy of setting expectations and boundary before we even left for this trip. Told them something like, I'm really excited to explore and spend time with you, but just a heads up, I will be working and I will be taking some time for myself. Even if this trip at the beginning was just a vacation trip for everyone, since I decided that I still want to focus and work on my stuff, I was really upfront with them. In this way, it's not a rejection on the moment, but it's just something that we agreed upon before. And it worked. I was able to do my things, I was able to run, I was able to work, I was able to film. I did all the things that I wanted to do. The reason why it was easy is because it was expected by them. So there was no guilt, there was no awkwardness. And of course, I joined a lot of activities, but only when I wanted to, not because I felt like I had to. Plus, when I'm there, I'm fully present. I fully enjoy the moment with them, and I don't have the voice in the back of my mind that's making me feel guilty, and then it's reminding me of this the days after. Having this mindset will completely change the dynamic of your relationships, and the more you practice this, the easier it gets to also enjoy your time with others. Moving on to number 2. This one is based on the fundamental truth that I think we all feel, especially when we're traveling, like we cannot be perfect. If it's true that in general you don't have time, energy, and money to do everything, especially then when you're out of your place, out of your environment, it gets a lot harder. So instead of trying to be perfect, the big strategic question I asked myself this trip was, what is the one thing that will truly move the needle and have the biggest impact on the outcome I want? And this step that I call the single focus method is all about this. It's my process to find what is the one thing that if I really am able to master will impact my life the most. And for this trip, the answer was very clear. It's food. So why food? It impacts weight loss, which is a big goal of mine. It impacts budget. It can be very expensive, especially if you go out in an expensive country like Iceland, and if you don't have a way to cook, then you will have to eat out, and this will be impactful. And it will also impact a lot the energy I have. And the more energy I have, the more I will be able to do and achieve. So if I get that element right, I can have 3 outcomes in one. I can improve my physical health, I can improve my budget, and I can improve my energy, which is the currency that I will use to do everything else. And for this trip, we managed to eat good, not spend more than we planned off, and still have a lot of energy to do everything I wanted. So by solving this one thing, I set up myself for 3 wins, basically. So this is for me a very high impact move, and it makes everything else feel easier and doable. And let's say I fail all the rest, this one would still make me very happy. On to step number 3. To explain this, we need to go back to my last trip to Berlin. And during the day, I was 100% focused on my business. But at night, when I was alone in my hotel room, my personal goals stopped feeling like a plan and started to feel more like a giant invisible checklist that was there to haunt me. So this time, my rule is to activate travel mode on my goals. Just like with your phone, when you go on airplane mode, you're not deleting your apps, you're not turning it off, you're just temporarily turning off some of the features that your phone has. So for this week in Iceland, I put on airplane mode my goals, and I will only keep part of them. I am ready to get out, and my mind feels quiet and clear because I know that my only job is to be present and enjoy my vacation. The great part is that I already feel a lot better. I know that I don't need to do a gazillion things. I know I will have time to enjoy my vacation and to explore this country. And on the other hand, I don't feel like I'm losing completely myself and I am wasting time and all of that, because I know I will also progress on some of my goals. And to add on top of this, to know that I don't have to do a gazillion things, just a few, it's relaxing by itself. And even just the idea is allowing me to feel on vacation already. Rule number 4. This one is all about fixing the end of day regret that I used to have on trips. I go back to the hotel and then look at my bank statement or how I spent my time, and I think about, was it really worth it? Like, why didn't even I do that? Like, why did I even buy that? Or why did I even eat that? Or, I was making so many mindless choices just because I was on vacation or traveling. I worked on autopilot, but doing something I'm not enjoying, or eating something I do not love, is still pointless. And it was a huge strain on my money and on my energy and my mood overall. So my rule for this trip is a simple question I now ask for myself before every single decision. I use the "is it worth it" filter. Before I buy something, before I go out to eat something, before I do any kind of activity, I just take a moment to ask myself, is this enjoyment that I will get from doing this thing really worth my time, my energy, and my money? And it kind of allow me to slow down and have a minute to really think about it and be more intentional with my choices. An example is with hiking. I'm not really a big hiker. I do not enjoy it a lot, and the people I am on vacation with really love hikes. So before I do one, I ask myself, I'm really that interested in it? And usually I would just have gone just because it's what the others are doing. But this time I just ask myself, is it really worth it to go and be exhausted and not enjoy it fully, while I would rather stay here and wait and do other things instead? So instead of fully committing, I still wanted to go and see the waterfalls, so I went. But now I came back instead of going to see the other 3 waterfalls because I was really happy and satisfied with what I saw. And I will now finish the tasks I have to finish for the day, and I feel it a lot more worth it, and I am more satisfied of how I use my time. And finally, step 5. This rule is designed to fight the most toxic travel mindset of all. The one that tells you if you're not constantly doing something productive, you're being lazy. I used to feel this all the time. I'd be on an amazing trip, having the greatest time of my life with friends, but then the moment I sat down to relax and my brain started really thinking, I felt like it was yelling at me that I was wasting precious time. And it kind of made it for me impossible to truly switch off and recharge, or even less to enjoy what I was actually doing. So my final rule, the one that makes this whole plan worthwhile, is to make happiness deposits. I now treat my well-being like a bank. Every time I intentionally schedule and enjoy a moment of pure rest or fun, I'm not wasting my time. I'm making a valuable deposit. I'm making a deposit in my happiness bank. It's a strategic investment in my energy and my joy that allows me to do a lot more after. The proof is what we are going to do tonight. We are going to chase the northern lights. Not sure if we are able to see them, but we will try. And after this great day of exploring, we are going to find the last final piece, or at least try it. That's it. So that's the whole plan for the day, and I'm good with that. I'm very happy, and I make a point to enjoy it. And this moment is not a distraction from my goal. It is the goal. It's all the return of my planning and hard work. All my hard work is to allow myself to live this moment, and it's the moment I get to enjoy 100% guilt-free, and that feels like the ultimate definition of a successful trip. It's Friday afternoon, well, almost night. This feels completely different from my last trip. I actually feel confident that I am doing something right. This morning I got my run in, and I started with the hardest first thing, and I also stuck to my food plan, and I mostly use an "is it worth it" filter to choose my activities, and it worked. And the result is this feeling of relief now that I'm heading into the weekend. The pressure is a lot less than it was last time, and I kind of feel like I have already won the week. But the most incredible part is that it didn't even feel that hard, and it made me realize something. When you finally find a strategy that truly clicks for you, the process becomes so much easier than the constant fighting and uphill battle you always made it out to be. And it's not about forcing it, it's about finding your flow. And it sounds easy, but it's not. It's a lot easier to try and make yourself fit into other people's rules. But once you find what's working for you, then you can really feel it. I think that's the biggest win so far. The biggest part was front loading the effort so you can relax after and knowing you have already secured your results. This feeling is actually a massive win for my 6-month challenge. Not really the results, but the feeling. And if you want to see how I handle the weekend and follow the rest of the story, just subscribe and join me. Just keep sharing your story. Thank you so much for watching and have a great weekend.